You know, this is not a political channel, but sometimes some of these politicians and governments, they say things so idiotic and they make decisions based on what I assume must be their ignorance, that, you know, I have to call it out because it affects my people, so to speak. And in this case, it's the American Secretary of Defense, Mr. Pete Hegseth, who has been saying some things. And by the way, my name is Bjorn. I'm a historical novelist. I live here in Norway, and I'm also a Norse pagan. So I have printed out Mr. Hegseth's statements here. And what they have done in the USA now is that previously you would be recognized for your faith in the army. So if you were well, for instance, Norse pagan, that would be recognized as a faith. But now they have gone through the whole list of different faiths, because contrary to what some fundamental Christians would want you to believe, there are many faiths. The Defense Department moved last month to cut roughly 180 religion codes from its previous list of about 220 recognized faiths. They have deleted a druid, shaman, also through pagan. There's a long list here, I won't read them all. Native American has been deleted. So the original faith of the USA has been deleted from that list. And Mr. Hegseth singled out the Norse Pagans. He said that he didn't want the military to become a military full of Nordic pagans. And this has been criticized, of course. An army chaplain, he stated that, and I'll read it, when I raised my hand to become an army chaplain, I swore that I would support and defend the Constitution. The First Amendment is the free exercise of religion for everybody. That's what I was buying into. Now I realize that Mr. Hegseth, he doesn't know what Norse paganism is. He has no idea. He has probably seen some Marvel movies, and that's his. That's where his knowledge comes from about the Norse gods, I assume. But you know, ignorance, as I've always said, ignorance can be dangerous. And ignorance, when ignorant people get into positions of power, you can see that very often they make some dangerous decisions. Now this is not a dangerous decision in itself, but it lines up with other decisions being made in the USA now, moving the USA more closer towards a theocracy, actually. And believe me, you don't want that. It also says here that you can still have, for instance, Norse pagan on your dog tag, but it's not going to be a recognized faith by the US Army. Mr. Hegseth also attacked beards. Yes. And he said, and I quote, "No more beardos." That's the word he used. Very clever. I think he felt very clever. He made up a little word there. So beards and weirdos, beardos. Well done there. Well done there, Mr. Hegseth. You're quite the bard, aren't you? I get the thing with a protective mask, a gas mask, isn't that what you say? Because it has to be sealed against the skin. That part I do get, but not all soldiers are in the front line, so to speak. Not all soldiers need to have a clean-shaven face because of that, the possibility of having to use a gas mask. So while Mr. Hegseth said it's not about appearance, I think it really is. It is about making soldiers look a certain way. And I think that's, if so, I think that's what is it that they say? It's rich. That's a bit rich, isn't it? Coming from a man who looks like this. Come on. I mean, I have a beard. Lots of you guys, you have you have beards as well, you know. If you think that having a beard is unprofessional, makes you look unprofessional, I don't know what to say to you. You know, I don't know what to say to you. There are people in the comments sometimes telling me, oh, you know, shave your beard and cut your hair, get a real job and all of that. Come on, if you write that, you're a little bit stupid, aren't you? You know, if we look back in history, having a beard was usually viewed as, you know, a sign of authority and manhood and all of that. So you know, this idea that it makes you look unprofessional, it's actually quite a, historically speaking, it's quite a modern thing. So you know, I'm not surprised, but I am disappointed with Mr. Hegseth's statements here. And also it says here that he calls beards, he calls it a superficial individual expression. Again, you know, coming from a person who looks, well, dare I say, not very professional, you know, it's a bit rich, isn't it? I think that what people need to understand about Norse paganism, or paganism in general, is that it aligns perfectly, first of all, it aligns perfectly with with the laws of nature. It aligns perfectly with science and the scientific method. Very few Norse pagans believe in the Norse gods in a literal sense. I view it as, you know, a very intelligent way of looking at life and death and nature and everything around us. Some people might see it differently, and the beauty about paganism is that that's fine, that's perfect. You do you, you know. And I'm not here to tell you that your way is the wrong way. No. So it's very much up to you. So what that, the effect of that is that you don't get a, it doesn't become extreme. It doesn't infringe on other people's rights. You get what I'm saying here? So, if anything, having more Norse pagans in an army would be very good for the ethical standards of that army. Now, if you are interested in Norse paganism or paganism in general, there's a website out there that I do recommend. It's I guess a kind of social media platform, and that's the sponsor of this video. It's folkrealms.com. I'm there on folkrealms.com. Come and join me there. It's a wonderful resource if you're interested in our, you know, maybe your European roots and our pagan roots. No AI allowed, and everyone is friendly. It's not a political it's not a place for political discussions or anything like that. So folkrealms.com, the sponsor of this video, an awesome platform. So yeah, come and join me there. Interestingly, if we look back at the Viking Age, I think it is, at least to me, obvious that Christianity was used as a political tool to subjugate people. it's a pattern that I see when I look back at that time period, because as long as people were pagans, you could say, Norse pagans, it wasn't so easy to have them align with a fundamentalist attitude towards other people. So Christianity, with this idea of one God and a king under the God, and that king happens to be me, and that God speaks to me, and therefore you must do as I say, and all of that, that it seems like that was seen as a very useful political tool, and it was used to in the horrible way. It was used in the most horrible way to justify evil things. Let's just put it that way. But this is not what they teach in schools, I guess. Maybe, hopefully, they do it now some places. But when I was in school, Saint Olaf, he was seen as the hero of the story, which is ridiculous because he was quite cruel. He was, dare I say, evil. He was a very cruel man, But yeah, that's a history lesson for another time, I guess.